Hello, my name is Julie Cook. Welcome to Endurance Yoga, the Athlete's Edge. Today is our week 2 of our 10-week series on preventing the most common injury areas among athletes. We work on relieving chronic knee pain. And I have with me Josh and Natalie. They're going to be demonstrating the postures while I talk you through the practice. So let's just begin today in the seated posture, bringing the soles of the feet together. So take the soles of your feet together, sit nice and tall, really elongating your spine, really tall, and then just fold at the waist. So we're going to fold forward, starting to bring the nose toward the knees, toward the toes, just dropping in. Taking a few breaths here. Now our focus right here is on breathing full, deep, complete breaths, using our Ujjayi breath throughout our practice. Deep full breaths in and out of the nose. Good, let's start to lift our head up. And then moving right onto hands and knees. Place your hands up in front of you and then come right up into a nice neutral spine. We're going to move into a couple of cat-cows to open up and release our spine, just lifting on the inhale and then rounding and squeezing on the exhale. A few times, lifting and rounding. Beautiful, just like that. Starting to open up and just create a little bit of flexibility in the spine. Then come on back into neutral. Roll your toes under and lift your hips into your first downward facing dog. So one of the most common reasons for that chronic knee pain with most athletes is the muscular imbalances in the legs. Oftentimes runners will have those really, really tight hamstrings, but then the quadriceps aren't quite as strong. These imbalances will begin to wiggle the knee out of place, creating knee pain. So today's practice really is going to be focusing on strengthening and stretching the quads and then creating that better balance in the body. We're going to start to warm things up today with our yoga walks. Just beginning right here with Crescent Warrior. Step that right foot in between your hands. Stay on the toe of your back foot, but lift up your arms, your fingertips, your gaze to the sky. Ardha halfway, head is forward. Arms are reaching behind you, really strong and steady. Reverse your warrior, keep your right knee bent. Come onto the side of your left foot, letting that right arm float over your right knee. Hands come down around your right foot. Step to the top of your push-up and lower. Shoulders rise and hips lift. You got it. Step your left foot in between your hands. Crescent warrior on the left. Arms come up. Ardha, good. Strengthening that left thigh, reaching behind you. Reverse warrior, left arm over left ear. Move it in deep. Hands around your left foot. Step to the top of your push-up and lower. And we're going to continue to move and breathe right here. Create some heat. Right foot steps forward. Crescent warrior, deep lunge, arms rise. Ardha, body weight shifts. Arms behind you, head is up. Reverse your warrior, right arm over right ear. Hands around your right foot. Step to the top of your push-up and lower. Shoulders rise and hips lift. Left foot floats right in between your hands. Take your arms and your gaze to the sky. Ardha halfway, shifting forward, arms reaching behind you. Reverse your warrior, left arm over left ear. Hands come down around your front foot. Step to the top of the push-up and lower. Just a few more rounds. Shoulders rise and hips lift. Right foot steps in between your hands. Arms rise to the sky. Gaze lifts. Good, Ardha, halfway. You got it. Reverse your warrior. Right arm over right ear. Hands come down. We step back and lower. Shoulders rise and hips lift to the sky. Left foot floats in between your hands. Arms up to the sky. Beautiful, Ardha. And reverse warrior. Left arm over left ear. Good, hands come down. Just one more round right here like this. Just moving rhythmically with your breath as you step your right foot in between your hands. Deep lunge. Strong focus, Ardha. Keeping that breath in. Reverse your warrior. And chaturanga, low push-up. All the way down. Shoulders rise and hips lift. Step that left foot in between your hands. Lift your arms to your gaze. And reverse your warrior. When the hands come down, we step it back and and lower. Shoulders lifting and hips lifting. Settle into your downward facing dog. Take several breaths here. Good, sink back and then step that right foot right back in between your hands. We're gonna come into a deep, deep crescent. We're on the toe of the back foot. Take your time here as you settle in. Fingertips are lifting even higher toward the sky. Really strong focus. Now this is a bit of a balancing posture, so if you wobble or fall, that's okay. Just come right back to it. Begin to pulse this left knee. So touching the ground, if that's available, and lifting. Good, barely touching and lifting. Good, pulsing and lifting right here like that. And so we're either touching the ground or coming close to it. This lunge is deep and strong. Good, keeping the focus, keeping that strength right here. Just about 3 or 4 more times. You guys got it, good. Good, so if you're home, that leg is shaking, that's normal. That's your edge, that piece of growth. Good. Let's take those hands now around your right foot and step right back to the top of the push-up as you lower. Let the shoulders rise and then take your hips to the sky. Stepping now the left foot in between your hands. Crescent on the left, deep, deep lunge. See if you can make it even deeper, even juicier here. That back knee barely hovering. Your fingertips are strong. Your head, that deep breath in your core. Breathing out abundant is engaged, working, keeping you steady right here. Now let's start to pulse now. So we're pulsing that back knee, just barely dropping and lowering, touching that back. Part of the mat, if that's available. If not, you're just pulsing here. You're sinking in deeper with every inhale. Beautiful. Opening, releasing right here. A few more times. This is such a great posture for strengthening those quads. Just a couple more. You got it. And after this one, we're going to take those hands right back down. Step to the top of the push-up and lower. Let your shoulders lift and hips rise. You got it. Good. 3-legged dog. Take that right leg up nice and high. Really reaching and opening. And then step it right into that crescent. So we've been here before. Crescent warrior, you know it. We're on the toe of the back foot. The arms rise up super high. Super high. And with all of that focus, all of that core strength, you're going to lift right into your warrior 3. So take your arms out in front of you. Reach it out. If you wobble, if you fall, that's normal. That's okay. Good. Warrior 3. So it's just like airplane, but the body is long and steady. Fingertips reaching for the front of the room. And your left toe reaching for the back of the room. Getting that stability and strength in your right thigh. Hands come down, standing splits. Left leg rises up even higher as the nose drifts closer to your knee. Let's take that left leg just a little higher. Feel the space, open it up. And then gently step that left foot back, coming into runner's lunge. Runner's lunge. So your nose is up. And we're making some adjustments here, so check it out. See if you have a nice 90-degree angle in your front thigh. If not, make the adjustments. Settle in, dropping sit bones, lifting hips really, really strong. And then wave your right arm open. And as you do, take your gaze up to the sky. Let your heart shine out. Right hand comes down and we step to the top of our push-ups. Lowering down, chaturanga. Let your shoulders lift and hips rise to the sky. Left leg now floating up. Feel the length. Feel that length as you sink the right heel deep into the mat. Step it through right into crescent. Left foot is forward. We're on the toe of the back foot. Take your fingertips, your gaze up to the sky. Settling into this pose. Feel the stability and strength of not only the body, but the mind as well. The mind wanders off will probably wobble and fall. And let's come right into our warrior 3, reaching arms in front of you. Reaching arms in front of you and taking that back leg toward the back of the room. Body moving opposite directions. Finding a focal place on the ground, something not moving that's going to help you keep your stability. And let's come Come down around your left foot. Let your right leg rise up high. Really feel the length in between those hips. And then step it right back into your runner's lunge. Good, so once again, we want to check in with where that front leg is. The hip is down, head is up, strong and steady, beautiful pose. And then just wave that left arm open. You're really moving into your hip here. Moving into the hip, opening and releasing. Left hand comes down, and then we step to the top of the push-up, lowering slowly with elbows tucked in. Shoulders lift, and hips rise. Push it back, sinking into the heels. Take a moment here. Notice where your breathing is, and if you lost your breath, start to bring it back by breathing in and out of the nose. From your downward facing dog, come on down to your hands and knees. Take a moment here, hands and knees. We're going to move right into child's pose. So bring your toes together. Open your knees wide and actually sit back onto your feet. We're going to stretch our arms over our head, letting the head come all the way down. Reaching your fingertips, just letting the abdomen drop in between your legs. We're actually stretching out our hips, opening things up. We're going to really start to move into the front side now. We strengthen those quadriceps. We're going to start to stretch them out with these half camels. Reach your right hand back for your right foot or ankle. And then come all the way to standing up onto your knees. Just really stretch that left arm up and over so you're standing all the way up. So stand, stand, stand on your knees. Actually standing. You got it. Now hips shift forward. Head comes back. And we're reaching with that fingertip. Exhale back down. And then switch sides. Really exaggerate. Take that right arm and reach it up and over. Come all the way up. You got it. Head is back. Exhale back down and switch sides. Roll and twist. Really opening up the front of the body. Exhale back down. And then lifting again. Reaching, twisting. This time staying up and coming into your full camel. Now you can place your hands onto your feet or onto your hips. Just let the hips shift forward as your throat chakra opens, your heart opens. Come on back to hands and knees, and let's just come into a couple of cat-cows to release our spine. That's that counter pose for those back bends. So a couple of cat-cows, really exaggerate inhales. We lift in the round, squeeze a few times like this. Right back into neutral. And let's drop our hips over to the left and just swing your legs right around to the front of your mat with those legs directly out in front of you. So with your legs out in front of you, let's let the toes come up toward the sky. Flex your feet. And then lift your arms way up high, lifting and reaching. Get some length in your spine. Exhale, hinging over at the waist. Just dropping down, grabbing whatever you can reach. So it might be your toes, it might be your thighs. Doesn't matter how far down your head can get. We're not bouncing or jerking. Just allowing now the body to move forward, coming into a counter pose for those back bends. So every yoga pose has a counter pose, creating that better balance in the body. Let's lift our head right back up, and then come on to lying on your back. We're going to lie on our back. We're going to bring our knees into our chest, another counter pose. Just squeeze those knees into your chest. A little roll from hip to hip as we release our spine, our back. And then right into your spinal twist. Take those knees to the right. Let your arms come out to your T and turn your head over to your left. Spinal twist. Just open up and back, releasing. Let your breath start to drift down into that normal natural state. Softening, closing eyes, just getting really comfortable here, beginning to soften the face, the jaw, the palate. And then take those knees right back into your chest, squeezing here. And switch sides. We're going to take our knees over to the left, take your gaze or head to the right. Just a great way to release your hips, release your back. Taking it back in again, really nice big squeeze, really big squeeze. And let the right leg just float right out into the right corner of the mat. Let your left leg float out into the left corner of the mat. And then place your hands comfortably next to your sides. Your eyes are still open. Let's close those eyes. Breath all the way back down to the normal natural state. Take a moment here just to move into that recovery pose, moving into Shavasana. So as always, if you have more time, take a few extra minutes. Otherwise, just move right into Shavasana now as we take rest. Moving into that healing state of stillness. Start to reawaken. Just wiggling the fingertips and the toes. Let your head move from side to side as you start to wake things up. And then stretch those arms way up over your head. Just a huge stretch. Big inhale. Just let it in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then bring those knees right into your chest. Give yourself a huge squeeze. Just going to drop right onto the left side, coming into a fetal position. So drop over to the left side. Feel that fetal position, and then make your way up into a comfortable seated posture. Right there at the center of the mat. We're going to take a moment here, and we're going to bring those hands right into the center of our heart. As we do, we're just closing our practice with a moment of gratitude. Thank you so much for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you again next week with a brand new practice. Until next time, namaste.